Welcome, or welcome back. Let's talk about it. Trauma isn't the past. It's the reason we numb. I used to think addiction was about substances, about choices, about willpower. But now I understand, I think, addiction is about pain. It's about survival. For many of us, it's the only way we knew how to stay alive when everything inside felt like it was collapsing. If you ever asked yourself, why can't I stop? Or maybe you watch someone you love spiral deeper into addiction and you felt helpless. This video is for all of us then. Because addiction isn't weakness, and I think it's more than just having a good time. You know, the societal norm, the unspoken pressure to, let's say, drink alcohol. It's a trauma response. And until we understand the pain underneath, we'll keep treating the symptom instead of the wound. What does trauma do to the nervous system? Well, you have to understand that trauma isn't just a memory. It's a body state. It rewires our nervous system to expect danger even when we're safe. It floods us with cortisol, numbs our emotions, and disconnects us from our own sense of self. And when the body is stuck in that 4 Fs, the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, we reach for anything that helps us feel less or more, or just something. That's why they call it, I think, liquid courage. Alcohol, that is. Addiction as an emotional regulation makes addiction more than about getting high. It's about getting out of here, maybe out of the shame, the flashbacks, or the unbearable silence inside. Whether it's alcohol, food, sex, gambling, a person, shopping, or scrolling. Addiction is the body's emergency exit when the pain becomes too loud. So, there are common trauma responses that lead to addiction. Here's a few patterns that often show up. Dissociation, feeling like you're floating outside of your body, or some people say like an out-of-body experience, but in this case it's trauma related. Hypervigilance, scanning for danger even in safe spaces. It's me. Emotional numbness, not feeling joy, sadness, or connection, just flatline. Shame, believing that you're broken, unworthy, or too much. I've experienced all of those. These are not personality flaws. They're survival adaptations. And addiction often becomes the only way to manage them. Here's why traditional approaches often fail somebody who is trying to break free of an addiction. Most recovery models are focusing on the behavior, on abstinence, on control. But if we don't address the trauma underneath, we're just treating the leaves while the roots keep growing. Without trauma-informed care, people relapse. Not because they're weak, but because their pain has never truly been witnessed. I had an addiction, and I knew it was repeating my father wound. My dad was a severe alcoholic, and I was in a really bad relationship, and everything in my life seemed to just kind of start crumbling down on me, kind of internally and then very closely externally to the environment around me. And if I continued on the path I was going, I probably would not be here right now. I would have hurt somebody in the process. So I had enough wit in a very bad time of my life one day and I put myself into a detox program. And after 2 days, I signed myself out and I went on with my new life. I had just relocated and I had a nice friend help direct the moving company with my stuff while I was in detox. So I got out of detox and it has now been 21 months since I entered my recovery of addiction. But coupled with that, though, this is where we get to the traditional approaches often fall off, is I had already began to wake up to my traumas and began healing myself. So that detox point was detoxing my old life, all of the abusive relationships I was in, all of the destructive and self-sabotaging patterns I had created to survive. I knew I had to let go because I wasn't going to succeed. And it was hard at first because your body wants the substance to soothe it. So I was addressing my traumas. I still am, hence this video. So I started addressing the traumas and getting into the deep-rooted issue that led to the addiction. And that should let you see that a new path forward is possible. And as I said in a previous video, healing begins with compassion and courage for yourself, with asking yourself, what are you trying to feel less of? What part of you still believes that you're unsafe? And gently and slowly building safety inside the body, you'll begin to see how you're healing yourself. And you can feel it. And through emotional integration, through somatic practices, I'm still kind of learning that one, through community, storytelling, and self-trust, you can pave a new way for yourself. Pioneer a new way. Write a new script for yourself. You have to want it, though. I look back and I still, I thank myself so much for getting out of that loop, that generational just shitstorm. I hope you do. And if you know somebody who's in a shitstorm and has addiction and they have a trauma and you can see that they're struggling, just be kind and give them support. They have to want to do it themselves. You can't make them. They have to want to do it. They need your love, though, and they need to know that they're not alone. So take this with you. I'm going to say it again. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're someone who adapted to unbearable pain. And now you're learning to live without numbing. And that's so courageous. And I fucking love you for doing that. It's not just recovery. It's a rebirth. And if it spoke to you or reminded you of someone you love, I invite you to share your story in the comments. Let's keep building a space where healing isn't just possible. It's inevitable.